Hey, what's up everybody, it's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and there's a new update that just released, the Olympic update, which added a new zone, a new weapon, and I'm sure plenty of other stuff as well. So let's go check it out. Now it has been, I think, about 3 months since we last played, so probably gonna look to keep things a little bit simple with our setup here, cause not really sure how rusty I'm gonna be today, but I think that they changed a little bit with how the torches work, so maybe we'll try that, and I believe most of the new stuff is going upward, so we'll do that, and we have not gone up all that much, even when we were in the swing of things. Oh, I also paid zero attention to what keepsake we were using. I don't recognize that symbol. Okay.
The family stands united in our cause. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Who is this?
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh, Hera!
Welcome to our world surface, such as it is. I promised the family that once you demonstrated your resolve to us, then I'd take you under my wing. And I always keep my vows.
Now, Hera did not exist in Hades 1. I believe she was already in Hades 2. We're seeing her for the first time just because we had not played all that much, and at least certainly had not gone up to the surface all that much. But she was one of, along with Apollo, the most prominent gods and goddesses that we did not see in Hades 1, so I was always waiting for Hera to make an appearance in Hades 1, so I'm glad that she does exist here in Hades 2, but I don't know what her deal is going to be. Your specials deal more damage and inflict hitch. What is that? Afflicted foes take 30% of damage dealt to other afflicted foes. What? As in it's like an area of effect spread out across multiple enemies instead of a single enemy? Sprint inflicts hitch. Same idea. Lasts for 8 seconds. Don't know what to make of that. Born again. Whenever you run out of mana, prime a certain amount until the next location to restore. What? So you basically, that's weird. You temporarily make it so you have less maximum mana in order to recover all of your mana in a later stage. That just seems a little bit odd to me. Let's go with the specials one. Still really don't know what I'm going to think of that. And I still am half expecting us to just go down in the first room, because it has been that long since we last played. I really don't remember much in terms of enemy mechanics. Maybe if we had gone down below, we would have felt a little bit more familiar with the stuffs. But as I said, I think most of the new stuff is going upward.
See the docks from here.
Few entrances into the underworld exist, and one of them is through the Acheron, whose accursed waters bear the weight of all the woes of mortal kind.
Ooh.
If our foes can use this as an exit, so can I.
Alright. That's the same symbol we had before, so that seems to be Hera's symbol. So this room, if I remember... Oh no, okay, there's one more before we get into the big city area. I don't remember these guys. Little goblin dudes. I don't know if that's actually what they are, but that's what they look like. Okay, I do recall we want to get rid of this thing quickly, because I think it can spawn other enemies. Haven't been able to take that close of a look at exactly how the Hera curse effect works. Also might pay to double check what keepsake we took and verify what it does, which I think we can do. Is it here? Remembering all the controls. This guy. Silken Sash. Oh, okay. We do like starting off runs with this, I remember. So you start off with the armor, and then if you still have armor at the end of the zone, then you gain a little bit more. So it's a little bit of an extra buffer defensively.
Hear me, on my authority.
So is this a second Hera? It is. Okay, let's see here. Casts inflict hitch. Again, I didn't really have much opportunity to see exactly how that was working. I was pressing the button for it a bit, so we were using it. But I'm mostly just focusing on not getting immediately annihilated by all the enemies. Your charge moves create a rift that strike foes in front of and behind you that uses more mana. Rift damage, that number does seem kind of high. After you take damage, inflict your foe with hitch and deal damage in greater measure. Whoa, wait, what? Damage reflected 750%? That does seem like a very high number, which is intriguing, although Cass is... it's a lower rarity,
Bond renewed.
but at the same time, it's more of a fundamental piece of our setup. The casts and the specials now. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have... oh.
You're the help.
Oh!
Friendly word of advice, sister. Stay out of my bloody way, else you're liable to get hurt. Now scoot. And tell whomever sent you that I work alone.
Now scoot. Very dark and foreboding. I mean, Heracles, obviously, that's a huge name. Once again, I think someone who did exist before this update, we just hadn't played enough going to the surface to see him. But, wow. Perhaps a rival of sorts? For us, the mightiest of men.
Your threat is duly noted, son of Zeus. I'm headed for the docks, but understand this city's sealed shut.
Then you understand you ought to turn back. This town is dead. It doesn't let the living pass.
Well, that hasn't stopped us before. Well, it has on a few occasions, but not every time.
Daughter of Hades, the dead shall answer to me. They may just need a little encouragement.
Try all you like. But remember, you were warned.
Okay. We aren't about to fight him, are we? No? Okay, can we chat? Is he just gonna chill there? He's a huge maul. Wow. Okay.
The
That was...
bats have returned.
I don't remember what this does. Oh, it's just a crafting resource. Sure, we'll take it. Okay, I feel like we do want to take the hammer. If I remember correctly, there are a bunch of places we can choose between. But we aren't going to be able to get to all of them. So we need to be a little bit choosy. Oh, take some of this. That sound effect was a little alarming. Okay, I think hammer probably top priority. The double heart is a little intriguing just because it's double. And then maybe a Zeus. Go with Hera and Zeus. That feels like that'd be kind of fitting. Or Poseidon. And well, I guess that's maybe it. I'm just going based on mythological reasons. Okay. Do I remember how this works?
Shades, I release you.
Oh. I may not have wanted to do that. Oh. Okay, I vaguely recall your deal. You throw that projectile and it deals a ton of damage, possibly in an area of effect. I think it does. Oh, something it does. Oh, wow. Is that the explosion from the explosive container that it went bada boom? Oh, I was not paying attention to the word. You have a ranged attack. Is there another one upstairs there? There might be. Oh no, that's just the shade. Or the birds. So it seemed like, at least based on the description, I'm going to try to pay a little closer attention, not to the birds, but to the effect of our ability here with Hera. It seemed from the description that it actually reduces your single target damage, but increases your area of effect damage. Which may be totally wrong, because I still have yet to really get the chance to pay very close attention to it. Okay, let's see. Special fires +2 projectiles. That is kind of tempting, since I do like the special on this weapon, and we have already invested in it. Charge special projectiles orbit 40% faster. We've not gotten this one yet. When you channel your attacks, you move and fire 20% faster. Oh, that was one of our first successful runs going downward. We realized that charging the attack on this weapon scales the damage to insane levels, at least if you can hold it down for a very long time. It just starts to double the damage every time you do it. So that's a little intriguing as well, even though attack is the one category we haven't really focused on yet. So maybe we keep it simple. I know we've already taken this one before, but it seems like the most obvious thing. Whoa. thing for us to benefit from, especially if we have area of effect on that special from Hera, then that seems like that could be a good combo.
Go show that shade the way.
Alright, Freenos can do the heavy lifting here, which is certainly nice. Okay, is there anything else in this area? I don't think so. I think we're... Oh, wait! It's like an optional area that gives us a little bit more stuff. I don't remember exactly how these work. So it's a little hard to see, not gonna lie to you. It's a little hard to see when we just spam that. But is that basically just free stuff? If we're willing to take on the extra enemies there? In those types of rooms? It might be. I don't know if that affects how many separate rooms we can go into here. Oh. To check out what Heracles is doing, but these rooms I'm pretty sure are the same. Heracles is not there anymore. Oh, what is this?
A barricade bars passage to the docks beyond the city square, leaving the denizens of the city of Ephyra confined to their ruinous environs.
We'll get through, even if it takes every shade in this city.
Oh, I did not even see the stuff up here. Okay. So yeah, we can go into 5 more rooms. That's what the 5 pylons remaining really means. So I do like the double health in large part just because it's kind of a 2-for-1, even if a boon is usually worth a little bit more than a single heart. Double heart, probably. Oh! I feel like I've walked by this every single time we've been in this room and not realized that we can actually heal here. It's not relevant at the moment, but that's very useful information to have. Okay, the double mana I'm a little bit less intrigued about. Hermes does intrigue me. I'm thinking we go Hermes... What if we get knockback on our special from Poseidon? That feels like that could be, from an area of effect standpoint, extremely useful. That's maybe a little bit wishful thinking, but let's try it. Don't know if we'll actually be able to make that happen. We need to break this thing. Is that required? Oh, and then as soon as I focus on that, I get distracted and miss the bird. Okay, that does explode. It sends the shades out after our enemy, right? Is that the way that it works? Oh, I did not even see that dude. Okay, pretty quick room.
You possess a rod of fishing there.
Oh!
The lingering doubts I had of you just vaporized. What are we even fighting for, if not the right to fish whensoever we desire?
To be honest, not sure what I would think Poseidon's opinions on fishing would be. On one hand, you're engaging with the ocean, the sea. On the other hand, you are removing and potentially killing sea creatures. So I could see one way in which he would support it and another way in which he would not be so fond of it. Okay, so I'm looking for a special knockback. Tax hit foes and knock them away. That's what I want for the special, though. I'm not sure if we can get it, since we have the basic special boon from Hera. Let's see. After you strike foes with your weapon, a spirit bubble may appear, which restores magic. I mean, that could potentially help. Although, I think early Ocean's Bounty is really helpful, because that adds up a lot over time. Would love for this to be higher rarity, but I think we have to take it. It's not really what I was looking for. But at the same time, we'll go for it. Oh! There are 2 rooms here? Can we go into both of them, or do we have to choose one or the other? I mean, I've no way of knowing which one would be preferable. Oh! Okay, did that use a pylon, though? Because I did see the pylon remaining number at least kind of pop up there. Okay, so we can go in here. In the name of science, we'll go into this one, but if this does truly take one of the pylons, then I'm not sure this is actually worth doing. It might just be that it always pops up that number as soon as you enter into a room, regardless of whether the room you're in affects how many there are. Oh, it's bad. It's a shame.
Good.
Okay, and now I forget what, wait, what is that? That as in Oh, it counts as if it's a fire boon, even though it's not actually a fire boon. Okay. I think that might be the first time we've seen that. That I'm not sure might be new with this update. Okay. So now, what are we thinking? We didn't get the knockback we were hoping for. I think Hermes maybe for one of them, Double Heart for another, and then choose between these two guys. I'm trying to remember. In Hades 1, Zeus was great for area of effect, but I feel like in Hades 2, he was more of a single target type of setup, and that's probably something we'd like to focus on a little bit more, since thus far we are much more oriented toward clearing out large groups of enemies. So, you know, one of those, do you cover for your weakness, or do you emphasize your strength type of situation?
Come on.
Ooh, oh, that's fire. That does hurt us. That's good to know. Okay, I see you trying to do that. But down you go. Okay. Quickly check for other stuff. No other side rooms in this area. I don't know if there's any way you can know in advance which of the rooms might have side areas, because, I mean, if those are basically free rewards, then obviously that's nice to have.
Pyre, and we need you at the bottom of the underworld and the top of Olympus. 2 places at once, my sympathies. The trick is to move really, really fast.
Okay, let's see. You find gold in greater quantities. Oh man, combine that with the Poseidon boon we got, and we are loading up on all the resources. Each time you slay a foe, deal more damage for the next 30 seconds. It's only 1% increased damage per foe. If that number were a little bit higher, I feel like that would be incredible. Charge moves are faster. Yeah, wait, the phrasing here is a little confusing. You mean the speed at which we move while we are doing charge skills, rather than, say, the speed of the projectiles of our charge special, or how quickly we get out new projectiles in that move? I'm not sure that's so great, given how it seems like it's just our movement speed, not actually our attack or special speed. I think we might go for this, although this is tempting with the special that we have, where we can potentially clear out a lot of enemies quickly. So it could add up a bit, but I feel like
Off I go.
this can add up to be a lot more long-term, especially given how, you know, we're still in the first zone. Really hard to say no to that in the first zone. Okay, so now we've 3 left. Okay, what is survey?
A quick overview.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought we tried to interact with these before and we weren't able to do so. Okay, so I'm thinking Hearts, Zeus, and then probably Hephaestus, although getting an early special move wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Huh? Wait, what? What's the deal with that? Huh? We can survey here as well? I was half expecting for this to allow us to then leave after fighting those dudes. I did not expect them to be there in the first place, though. Okay. So there's a lot of dudes here. A lot of shamblers. A whole lot of shamblers, but there is the power of having the huge area of effect. Very useful in a room like that. Okay. So then, I'll be honest, I didn't really catch if going to those side rooms does use up another one of the pylons, and I very much do not want to use one. Because I do like some of the rooms we still have remaining here, but see if that still says 2 by the time we're out. Okay, and it does. So they do very much seem to be functionally free opportunities to get additional rewards. Is there ever surprise enemies when we hop back in here after going to the side room? I don't remember if that's the case. Oh, did we have other options? Huh. Interesting. Okay, so 2 left. So I'm thinking we want at least one, if not both, of these guys. Let's go Zeus. Oh, that's another dude, another shade we can compel. We want to get rid of that thing, which we did. Very nice.
Almost finished.
Oh, well, kinda, sorta, but not really. Whoa! I do really like this special. At least, in large part because of the hammer. Still not really sure what to make of the Hera component. But it does seem to be working.
I don't know how you circumvented the curse that bound you to the underworld, young lady, but I do know this changes everything. You can help us defend this mountaintop. Help we could use, even I must admit.
Okay, we did meet your son earlier. Okay, your sprint causes surrounding foes to be struck by lightning bolt, which does cost us magic. Oh, that's actually an interesting point that I only just thought of is, we don't really want to have, I'm honestly forgetting, it's Hex, right? The name of the moon-based abilities. We want to make sure we have a way to spend armor. Oh, we could always do charged attacks. Okay, never mind. So that doesn't make much of a difference. After you take damage, foe is struck by lightning, and again, 50% of the time, whenever you use magic, a random surrounding foe is struck by lightning. Okay, lots of stuff having to do with magic, but we just don't really have good setup for it, unless we do go for that other room to get an ultimate skill after this. Which I wasn't really thinking I wanted to do. Maybe we just keep it simple, go for that, because it requires the least setup.
The honors, please, Phrynos. Good
I thought
job.
she said, be honest, please, Phrynos. I was like, is Phrynos lying to us? Doesn't look like there's anything else, so we should have just one more room. So I think I do want to go here, even if you can make the case for taking that northernmost spot. Spam the special. It's basically the strategy.
A sign of Kronos.
Probably get this as well. Yeah, I don't remember. Is there a... Oh, that is a Kronos sigil banner type thing. I was going to say, I don't remember if the last zone is typically more difficult than the others.
Strike true.
The last room, I should say. Oh, that was close. But yeah, we are about to go into our first boss fight, so I'd kind of like to have a little more boss damage.
To the fine city of Pyre, Witchy. Most important thing to know is, whatever happens to you there, I cannot be held liable.
Okay.
I work weapons, not miracles.
I don't know enough about the... I really don't know anything about the city. Does Hephaestus have a history with it? Because it sounds like he has some sort of connection to it. He's like, don't blame me. I'm not liable. Okay, so what do we have? After you dash, occasionally create a blast that deals 100 damage to a nearby foe. Does have a slow recharge. That's kind of the thing with Hephaestus. Gain armor in each location until the next... Wait, what? Oh, it basically, right, this gives you a free 15 armor for one room, basically. Which could synergize with our keepsake here, to the extent that we have enough to get through a boss fight without losing our armor, but that might be the first room in which it gets depleted. Attacks and specials deal bonus damage to armor. It's simple, but since we do have a lot of stuff going on with our special, I do still kind of like it. I was looking for something bigger, though. If I'm being honest, between Zeus and Hephaestus... Oh, hold on, though. What do we have here?
I don't on there.
Oh, that's a very small room. Oh, I forgot we can transform stuff now. Oh, but this does give us additional armor. Okay, we'll take it. Okay, so theoretically, now is the time to move on. Oh, this is the exit. Okay. This is the time for us to make our move. We could heal, except we don't need to heal.
Barrier's down.
Oh, we do have a shop. Okay. We might still have one more chance to get some decent stuff then. That actually gives us a little bit of extra health and MP. Okay. What do you have to say to us, Charon?
You've come to aid me even here, Lord Charon. Though I imagine not even you can travel much farther where I'm headed.
Ah, yes, of course.
I won't forget your generosity.
Okay, so we definitely can afford everything, and I think there's no reason not to purchase everything. I think we take the palm now, and we probably look to upgrade the special, because that has been the focal point. Actually, don't know what that does by clicking on that.
This one, please.
Okay, did we get it? We did. Is there any reason to go for other stuff? I do think Divine Vengeance damage can get pretty significant, but we had a low rarity to start off with, so I'm not really sure that's worth building around. This is a higher number that we're boosting, 20% versus 15%, but it's only against armor. It is relevant for the boss fight that we're about to go into. I think the bosses have armor, don't they? I don't even remember. But this one is applicable to all of our special damage, whether it be to health or to armor, so I think we go with that.
Knife.
Take the health, take this, and we're gonna get a bunch of coins in this run, so I'm fine spending a lot here.
Now that he isn't busy sending souls to their eternal rest. Although I do suspect that we can keep him plenty busy in service to us here.
Okay. Can we maybe get the big boon we were looking for before? Hold, cast, aim, where the binding circle appears. We don't have anything to set up our cast yet, so it would be kind of nice to have something to work with, and I do like being able to target our cast in a specific location, and this allows us to do that. So maybe that. Otherwise, we saw the sprint before. We don't have anything on our basic attack yet, either. Which is something we should address pretty soon, but maybe we get a little bit greedier on the attack and try to get something higher rarity, so we'll go for the cast. Okay, so here's the boss. It has been a while, of course, since I last faced this boss.
Until we meet again.
It's Polyphemus, right?
Where you going?
I do not remember that he talked.
To my old barn the other night while I was out. Could have cased the joint, but you didn't. Drank from my well, and that was it.
That'd actually be pretty funny if we, for whatever reason, did not drink from the well. It was like, oh, well, as it turns out, we did not mess with your stuff at all. You have no quarrel with us, I swear.
I'm no thief. And besides, your residence is filthy.
Oh, okay, well, that's not going to go over well.
Up instead of facing me. Let me know if you need assistance, as I'll soon be passing through again.
Nah, thanks. If it was tidy in there, I couldn't snip my way around. And also, you shut up.
Oh, excuse me.
The way you want to live.
I mean, that's also kind of fair. Also, his voice sounds really similar to that of Hades. I feel like that has to be the same voice actor who does it. Okay, so he has, I'm trying to remember, big AoEs like that. He has one phase where he, I don't know. We're gonna see to what extent I remember. Oh, I walked straight into that. That problem with that is a phase where he basically, phase where he basically waits and listens for us. Which I didn't really have the time to figure out, exactly how that works. Why is he resisting everything now? Oh, because it's an ads phase. I mistimed that dodge. Do we actually, I mean, we want to be close to him from a special standpoint. That damage does start to add up. Don't remember what this phase does, other than create a whole bunch of little damage parts. Oh, he was listening for us. Oh, Okay, he's mad again. What, does he have a new phase, a new ads phase whenever he's at a third or 2/3 health? Ooh, bigger dude. Do create fire on the ground, which is kind of annoying. Please stop doing that. I'd appreciate if you would stop doing that. This music is great. Kind of hard sometimes to focus on the music during a boss fight, but at the same time, that... What is it? Is that a flute? Or some other similar instrument? Okay, not too bad, honestly.
Eat that.
Oh. We'll take that. Anything else of note in here? Don't think so. Okay. Do we? Oh. Can we get wool? Can we get wool from attacking them? Or am I just being a horrible person? I don't know. At first it looked like they were following us, which I was surprised after having attacked them. Now it feels like they might be... No, they're definitely following us. I would think they'd be running away from us after we attacked them. Okay, but we do still have armor, so we actually do stand to benefit from continuing to use this keepsake. Oh, what was this? Next Guardian loses 5% health. You take less damage from Guardian. Oh, right, not bosses, Guardians. Those are like mini bosses. Okay. I feel like we stick with this for the time being. We don't need the healing. Oh, we must use the fountain. Okay, I guess even if we don't have any lost health. Oh, I did not see you. I totally would have missed that. But I suppose even if we had not lost any health in our previous encounter with Polyphemus, we still would have had to have gone to the well in that case, so we always would have taken some of his stuff.
As planned.
Is this different? This seems different. That's definitely new. Right? Or, I mean, there could have been smaller updates
The docks.
since the last time we played, I suppose. Before this really big one.
Warships risen from the depths, all headed for Olympus.
Oh. Don't know if we did that last time round, or any prior time. Oh! Hello!
Here, girl.
Is that one of the pets that was previously in the crossroads? But then ran away?
To eat.
Okay. Obviously, we have Freenos right now, and Freenos has been doing work for us, at least from a compelling spirit standpoint. Nab that real quick. Okay.
You dare.
See if I remember how these guys work. Guessing we don't want to stand in that red circle. If I had to venture to guess, this is why it would be nice to have a better attack.
Which way now?
Okay, I do remember this being a thing. So we choose... Oh, but I have no clue which one we are in greater need of right now. And we did not really check our Arcana setup beforehand, so... I don't know. I guess we'll take you. Oh, we did, however, get an upgrade that makes it so that we get other bonuses of some variety from these, right? Because it used to be that those were only good for us as crafting materials. But then, after getting an upgrade, it made it so that we get some other bonus from them, I thought, but I don't remember what gives what. Let's see. I didn't seem to catch what that was, if anything, or maybe we've made that upgrade for some, but not all of the different resource types. Okay, I think we go for Hermes again. I do think Hermes has a lot of high-end potential. I suppose Zeus could as well. vaguely recall these guys were a pain in the bum. I think they have ridiculous range. Okay, you shoot a ridiculous number of projectiles. But so do we! Ow. It's a bad place to be standing. Don't really need to be that close to you. For a mid-range specialist. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Whenever you are struck, you have a 10% chance to dodge. Charge moves move faster. I think we saw this before. Attack, special, and caster faster. This is what I'm looking for. Something more like that. Again, I would love for the number to be higher. I suppose we'll take it.
Take me away.
This guy has armor. Did we take that upgrade that gives us additional damage to armor? No, I don't think we did. That is huge. Oh, I was not paying attention to the guy sneaking up behind us. And you. Ah, it's one of those spear dudes. You also have a skull next to you, which suggests that you are also a mini-boss of sorts. Oh. Did we get that one? It's only those guys? Oh. Okay, this seems like a situation where we spam the special button. Not that we haven't been doing that already. Also, there is something we can, a resource we can, I think, mine over in the corner there that I did not even notice. Okay. When we get the range right, it does work really well with the special. We'll nab that. Now, magic. I mean, we haven't really had reason to focus much on this at this stage. I see you. Ooh, okay. Nope, don't do that. Stop doing that.
Beginning attack run.
Oh! What?
What? Icarus?
Icarus?
What are you doing here?
Excuse me? A new friend? Question mark? It's the same music, I think, as we used to hear when Artemis showed up and she was a friend. I mean, it does seem like he's using some sort of attacks to assist us here, which I will admit are distracting me a little bit, and perhaps causing me to take a little more damage. Hold on, where's the friend?
Hello.
There he is.
Better.
It's really you. Before you say anything, I know I'm not supposed to be here.
Oh.
But I spotted this ship and I had to drop in for a closer look. And now I'm going to take off. So let's pretend this never happened, okay?
Okay, so I believe he is new. I believe he has only just been added from this update. I mean, a bunch of things that are new to us, just because we haven't been to the surface all that much yet, but he is new as of only a day or two ago.
Hold it right there, Icarus. I'm not about to let you just fly out on me again without a chat, at least. To start with, what are you doing in the middle of this blasted war?
The same thing I've been doing. Slowing these bastards down. If everyone like me pitched in a little bit, this war would have been well over by now.
Okay.
That may be so, but this is a matter between gods and titans. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
And you're just a human.
Bit late for that, Millie. Anyway, I've kept you for too long, but let me give you something I've been working on before I go. And these will work, I swear.
Does he have any, is he the descendant of any gods or goddesses? I don't think so, right? It's not like his father was technically a demigod or anything like that. I don't think so. I think he is just 100% human. And free spirit is an interesting way to describe him. Even the gods can benefit from craftwork of a certain skill. Okay. Oh, so is it like a hammer? Your specials gain 20 power, but you prime a fair bit of magic. Okay, well, we did gain some max magic, so that might not be the worst thing, and I do love the extra special damage. Cast also blast the area after 4 seconds. We did improve our cast a little bit. Oh, but it damages us? Is that only if we're in the radius? Or as in, like, you know, we need to run away from it and in the same way that enemies would want to run away from it? Or do we just always take it whenever we use it, no matter what? Gain armor the next time you lose all your armor. Deal 2,000 damage to surrounding enemies. I mean, we do still have the keepsake on that gives us additional armor. We did lose all of it in this room, so there's something to be said for building that back up, although I think it's a little bit of a lost cause at this point. The 2,000 damage is nothing to snuff at, especially if that happens to trigger in a boss encounter. That'd be really nice. But I think we go for the simple, straightforward, plus 20 damage to something we've already been building around.
Thank you. See you.
I think it should make our special very strong. Oh, someone sneak up behind us? Oh no, it's once again the spear throwing dudes. It's just because they can do it from far away, and you don't even see the animation, especially not when they're hiding amongst the large group of enemies like that. Okay, so do we want more of that, or would we like nectar? Let's go maybe the nectar route this time. Their name really Boozers. It's kind of a fantastic name. I don't know where the enemies are or what they are. Oh, okay. I can't really get a feel for the Boozers' attack pattern, where is and is not safe to be standing. Okay, so we can transform one of these things at some point, but I don't really know what we're looking for in that regard. Okay, so this will be a mini-boss. I don't remember what mini-bosses we've encountered thus far in this zone, so this could be tricky. And we have taken a fair bit of just little bits of damage here and there. It's starting to add up. We're not doing great from that standpoint. What the heck?
That maw, there's no mistaking it.
Is that Charybdis? It is. Oh, snap. Wait, is this the full-blown boss? This does not look like a mini-boss to me. Wow, okay. Talk about not really knowing where we can and cannot stand. Wow, okay. I get the feeling standing right in the middle of all those things is maybe not the best place to stand, although that did seemingly deal a ginormous amount of damage. Okay, we cannot attack you directly. You seem to have some sort of shield there that's blocking you. Also, so many projectiles. So it seems like the only way we can deal damage is by hitting your legs of sorts. So Charybdis, for those who don't know, is from the Odyssey, or at least featured in the Odyssey. Is a whirlpool, technically. It was the other dangerous thing that Odysseus needed to consider whether to avoid. Okay, I think our special absolutely annihilated him. We did take a fair bit of damage, but I think we could deal a crazy amount of damage as well. It was the other thing that Odysseus had to consider whether to face when he was coming back from the Trojan War. One option was Scylla, we of course have encountered and spoken about, but the other was Charybdis. The idea was Scylla, he was pretty sure was going to kill 6 of his crewmen from the ship if he were to go past her, or Charybdis, who, as a ginormous whirlpool, or in this case, more like a sea monster that was creating a ginormous whirlpool, he thought would take down the entire ship, so he decided it was not worth going toward Charybdis, because that would be certain doom, whereas at least with Scylla, some of the crew members would be fine.
The abomination called Charybdis forms within the waters of the Sea of Vortex, from which not even the slickest ship can possibly escape.
I should probably go.
So, I mean, we've made it past this zone before, but Charybdis was not the enemy we fought. This is absolutely the first time we fought it. So, I don't know what to make of that. That's interesting. I don't know what determines which boss you fight in this area, and I don't even remember what the other one we fought last time was. Okay, let's just take this. Don't think we need to gift the nectar right now. Okay, we've passed up on the dash several times. Take 10% less damage. Restore some magic whenever you take damage. Okay. Gain max health based on your magic limit. So if we have 160 magic, mental math, it's gonna be, what, a third, a little less than a third of that. It's not a crazy amount. We got a lot of magic back from that. We still don't have much reason to be using our magic all that aggressively. Does this continue to update if we continue to gain more max magic? Because if so, then, okay, there is actually some long-term benefit from that. Sure, we'll take this.
The Smith God's power.
Yeah, it's a little less than 50 max HP, which after having taken a fair bit of damage there, not the worst thing to load up a bit more on that. And I don't think there's anything else we can do here. But yeah, I was not aware in the Odyssey itself that Charybdis was... maybe it was technically a mini-boss. I was gonna say, wait, because we did fight, what was her name? Was it Eris? Yeah, Eris, right? And she killed us. Was that technically at the end of this zone? Maybe it was. Okay. Just quickly nab this. Don't mind me. Okay, please don't shoot your projectile at me. Likewise for you. Oh. Not sure where those skulls are coming from. Do they just spawn in directly? Or is someone actually creating them? And we are actually loading up on quite a bit of, of max health. Can we step on that, what seems to be oil patch, or does that hurt us? I don't know. Okay, seems like another very crowded area. Once again, these guys hiding behind everyone else. Wait, who's left? Oh, can we do this now? No. Okay, we need to do this. Oh, do I remember these guys? Not sure if I do. Ooh. Lots of little skulls as well. Oh, the oil is, it catches fire. Or at least it can. I'm not exactly sure how, but maybe it's fine when it is not on fire. Obviously, when it is on fire, you probably don't want to step on it.
Go, Freenos. Thanks, little one.
Okay, so now we have the shop. That presumably means this is the penultimate room, and I think Eris will be the being waiting on the other side.
Iron.
I imagine we do need that. And then, okay, should still have plenty of gold to work with here. Now, is there a particular thing we really want to upgrade? It probably still is our special, to be honest with you. Outside of how it's mostly for getting rid of large groups of enemies and probably less of a thing for single target damage, especially since it does require us to get rather close. And we know from prior experience, Eris, at least in the later stages of the encounter, can deal some pretty ridiculous damage. Or do we take this first? Let's take this first. Maybe it'll be worth upgrading this instead. Oh, wait.
Fairest wife of my distinguished brother and all that. Shame I have never found myself a perfect mate to she. You'd bless us if I did, wouldn't you, Hera?
Duo boon?
Assuredly bless you and your beloved mate, whomever they may be, Poseidon. Perhaps when all of this is over, you may resume your search in earnest. But until such time, get your mind out of the gutter.
Alright, so deal more damage the more gold you have. Wait a second. 3% damage per 100 gold. We do have a lot of ways to increase our gold. This does potentially affect how much we want to spend right here, right now. Out of curiosity, what is this? Whenever you claim rewards other than boons, hammers, or rare resources, a copy may appear. I mean, if we were going absolutely all in on just getting as many crafting resources as possible. Wait, is that what a rare resource is? I'm not entirely sure what this counts as then. Certainly gold, at least. I guess there's a synergy between these two, but no, we have to take the golden rule, right? Okay. So with 600 gold, that means we're getting, what was it, 3% damage per 100? Okay, so it's actually not incredible at the moment. It's also one that mostly pays off long term if we make a point of not buying a whole bunch of stuff, except we're about to go into a boss fight where I think we very much do need the health at the very least. I think we probably skip on to you and at least get a little more damage from saving there. Okay, because this, I believe, is where our previous run ended. So, can't get too greedy about the long-term stuff. Yeah.
Hey.
It's you.
Come on, really? I thought I made myself real clear with you before, but here you are like nothing happened and it's just another night.
Okay, we'll see if we can fare better this time round. I'm trying to remember mechanically. She charges after us. She has some projectile-like attacks and some things where she creates a bunch of circles where we can't step, right? And at a certain point, certainly as the fight goes on longer, she'll have a bunch of ads that start swarming us as well. The big thing, though, is that her damage starts off relatively moderate, but then gets absolutely insane. She gets something like a 250 or 300% damage bonus toward the end of the encounter, and that's where it gets really tough.
This is just another night to me, Eris. So you stand with Kronos against the gods, so what? You're just another obstacle on my path.
Hate to break it to you, Trouble. Obstacles are things you're supposed to avoid. But in this channel, you're going to run into me every time.
I mean, obstacle, Strife Incarnate, it is fitting. Just don't stand there. Okay, she shoots like that. Where'd she go? She does disappear. Oh, there she is. She does outright disappear at certain points in time, right? Okay. Oh, that was a bad place to stand, I'm pretty sure. Okay, plus 100% damage now. So, you know, oh my gosh. I would love to be able to more clearly see where she is. Oh, don't stand there. Don't stand there. Don't stand there. Never mind. Did not know when she was actually making the move for reals. Dodged a bunch of times when I guess I didn't really need to dodge, and that's actually Eris now. Okay, more damage. Wonderful. That's exactly what I was thinking we needed right now, was for our opponent to have more damage. Okay, where are you? Over there. This is what I mean. How do I know when to... Okay, if you just keep on running, you're technically fast enough. You don't actually need to dodge. Likewise here, question mark? Okay. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. Keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running. Lava is comparatively fine, I think. It would be nice to have a chance to actually hit her, though. Okay, no, up she goes again. Oh, for ads? Okay. Oh, she is back, though. Make no mistake. Okay. Wish I had the range to actually do something when you were in that mode. Okay. Oh, you're doing that again. Okay. That one is perhaps the hardest one to avoid, just because once she does it, there's not a lot of time to react. Where'd she go? Uh-oh. No, thank you. What number is this gonna say? Something absolutely insane, I'm sure. Oh, we got her! I honestly wasn't sure if she killed us or if we killed her, because her damage buff was so high.
You started it.
Whew.
Golden apple.
That she did? Question mark? I'm actually not sure who started it, to be honest with you. I don't remember what her original qualm with us was, but that now makes this officially our furthest run yet, at least when it comes to going to the surface. And there is a new zone that may not, or did not previously exist. I'm just not
To Olympus.
yet sure if this is it, but it sounds like it might be. Okay, so probably does make sense now for us to switch off the Silken Sash, so we no longer have armor. I'm fairly certain of that. When you channel your charge moves, everything moves slower now. Next Guardian loses health. We take less damage from Guardians. Thinking the Luckier Tooth, this might be a good time to break this out. Music is quite different, and it reminds me quite a bit of the surface music from Hades 1, which I think does make a lot of sense, and it's all frozen, snowy, like Hades 1 as well.
A passageway through the snow-covered rock leads to the foot of the most sacred mountain of the gods, Olympus, which now looms impossibly into the sky above.
And so now, I believe,
Bit of a climb.
we are about to head into the new zone, and one that I'm sure everyone who has played Hades was just waiting for the chance to go into, and that is Olympus.
At last.
Mount Olympus. Oh man. So this was just added. So I don't know what would have happened if we had defeated Eris previously. There probably would have been some kind of way in which the game would have basically forced us to go back to the crossroads.
It's under attack.
Okay, I was gonna say, I assume those are not friendly creatures. They look kind of like the satyrs from Hades 1. A little bit goat-like. Okay. So we do benefit. We get health, extra health when we get magic. So probably do want to go that route, and that will eventually also play into us getting a hex, but I think we prioritize this for the time being. What? Oh my goodness.
Olympian automatons defending the mountain. Let me see if I can't help a bit.
Okay. Yeah, it also wasn't
Why are you attacking me?
super clear who and how
Little choice.
is attacking Olympus. I think that resource might be new as well. I don't recognize it, at least. Because yeah, we knew that Kronos, of course, was taking over the underworld.
The mountain
Then we heard that
has turned on me.
the mountaintop was in trouble. But it wasn't super clear. We kind of just assumed that that was also Kronos' doing.
Automatons apparently are not my friends.
But now the automatons, which apparently were at one point part of the Mount Olympus defense, is now that those have turned against the gods and goddesses.
The battle of Olympus hangs in the balance as the mountain's mechanical protectors and the Titan's forces continue to glide, shaking the heavens themselves.
Okay.
All the world shivers.
Well, that does confirm that, as we suspected, it had something to do with Kronos. But I guess my main, or at least underlying question is, if Kronos himself is in the underworld, basically stealing Hades' previous throne, then does he have some other commander, general, who he sent up to lead the fight on Olympus, or is he also there simultaneously? I mean, as the Titan of Time, I suppose he could find a way to functionally be in two places at once, more or less. Okay, but I do like the Zeus statue on Olympus. That makes sense, but very much like the hammer. Except
Flying. Wait.
so we can control where we land.
Pikes.
I would like my hammer though. Oh, this. Okay, recognize this type of enemy. What do these do? They explode. Okay. Good to know. These guys look like they are kind of quick. At least quicker than their unarmored, non-Olympus versions, and they are certainly quite numerous. Okay, there's the hammer. Okay. Attacks fire 20% farther and deal more damage. Your specials grow in size and deal up to plus 25% damage the longer they are active. I do like that. If we were building more around the attack, then these things could be really nice. And as I was saying before, one of our first successful runs was very much centered around the charged attack on this very weapon. But at the moment, for this run, it's been all about the special, so I think we keep it that way. Still some concern about how scalable that is in boss encounters. I mean, for Charybdis it was great. For Eris, I suppose it also worked as well. Okay, so this is just a preview. It's not the actual reward. We still need to land and take these guys out. Okay, those shoot projectiles as well. The armored versions at least do. Basic unarmored versions only explode. And you are probably nasty. Oh, I love the music again. Ooh, ow. Nope. Please get hit by all these swirling specials. What?
An eagle.
Huh? Are we fighting this eagle? We are fighting this eagle, confirmed. Okay, made that pretty clear. Wait, are we? I think we can't damage the eagle, but the eagle was damaging us? I don't know what to make of that. I'll be honest, at first, it reminded me of Icarus. Although I don't think he has any way of transforming into an eagle.
These palms are even here.
I did not know what to make of it at first. Specials deal more damage and inflict hits. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, right. And that I was like, we love building around our special. No, this is upgrading our existing special. This is a palm. So yeah, this is the primary thing we've been working with. So I think we could double our armor damage bonus. I think we still are looking for that, though. Okay, that's a mini-boss, which I'm a little terrified of in a zone that we are just going into for the first time. So in the interest of trying to extend our stay in Olympus as long as possible, we might go for the normal palm room, even if it's a little less dramatic. Oh, well, I mean, I say that. We still have plenty of things to learn. It does seem like those guys were attacking each other. Surely there's another wave. What the heck are those things? They look like dragons. They basically are dragons. They breathe fire. Okay. Alright. They are dragons now. Wonderful! And their attacks? Seems like they have a couple of them. One where they shoot fire in a straight line like that, and one where they shoot it in more of like a fan, like that. Maybe they just basically have a little bit of duration on the move and they can adjust to change the direction of their fire breath in whatever way works best for them. Ooh. Definitely nab some of this. They also had a swirly melee attack as well. Okay, so at this point, I was going to say, we're probably starting to get to some diminishing returns here on the special, although we don't see a good alternative. We might still go for this. Once again, we are presented with the same choice. Normal palm, mini-boss, Hera. I think we're still going normal palm, to be honest.
Raiders.
Raiders, okay. Can those guys do much when we're right next to them? Not sure if they can. Oh, they can. Okay, good to know. Ooh, okay. You have a ranged ability that I did not know of. Nope, please stop doing that. I sprinted when I should have dodged. Okay, use this as cover, and then we... Oh, we have found the loophole.
Spilled half my blood back there.
Oh, yeah, you know, that might be true. Is this always 10% increased damage now? Because it feels like at this point, alright, go big or go home, might as well go all in. You know, if it were like a 2% damage boost, then alright, it's not doing much. Maybe at this point, though, Molten Touch starts to make a little more sense. We've pretty much just never used our cast at all, which probably should be doing more of, even if it's not as strong as our special is. But I am still tempted to do this, I'm gonna be honest with you. Because it is so much stronger than the other stuff at this point. Okay. It's been all palms. Oh! That's a little tempting, to be honest with you. Let's do it. Well, unless this is... No, can't interact with that. Let's do this. Seems like they are not very good at blocking that with their shields, which I do appreciate. Oh, actually, I wonder, was that... Were we basically doing optional rooms before? Because the way in which the entrances to those rooms were, was a little different. It might have been that we were optionally loading up on additional palm rooms. Wow, there's a lot of them. This is where the special does come in handy.
I bid you shine for me again tonight.
You have seen the path of stars and experienced its connection to my strength and yours. Though our paths may diverge at times, they often lead us to a single point.
Alright, we were waiting on Selene for a while there. We do have a fair bit of magic to work with. X fires a beam that deals large chunk of damage over 2 seconds. X launches heat-seeking projectile that inflicts morph. Thinking, I mean, we might be getting close to the end of the zone, in which case we might want to be prioritizing stuff for bosses. Hex restores health up to 3 times. Not a lot of health. Resets whenever you use fountains. That feels like that's something you need to do early, and it pays off over time, because we won't have very many uses to get out of this at this stage. I think we have to go Lunar Ray.
On this phase, I can see you may direct a valuable ray.
That shade needs you, Phrynos.
I'm a fair bit of shades pacified by Phrynos. Okay, so this is what I mean, though. Like, look, there are 2 rooms here we could potentially go into. One for gold, and one for Hera. However... Okay, we can't go up here. For a second, it looked like this was going to be basically a way to immediately go to the final encounter, whereas this was going to be an optional room of some variety to get stronger at the risk of facing additional enemies. So, we do have the extra power based on how much gold we have. Where was it? And we have bonus gold received of some variety as well. Actually, a few varieties. We've basically plus 70% gold. Is that reason enough to do this? I mean, it might mean we get 3% more damage in one other round of that buff, which is not a ton. However, if we are going to make it to the end, then there would presumably be a super shop where we might be interested in spending a bunch of coins. Normally, you would say, spend all your money at the end, but maybe we'd like to hold on to some so we can still get a bonus from this. Well, what are we looking at now? It's getting close to 30% damage, which is certainly something. It's not, like, game-breaking, that amount, but... yeah, I think we do this. And we're basically just saying it makes us a little more willing to buy stuff at the final shop, assuming that we get there. Might be getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. One room at a time. Of course, I was talking earlier about how it seemed like these guys were struggling to dodge our special, and then or block our special, and then he blocked like 3 of them in a row. Have we seen the armored version of these guys before? We're also about to blow through a Death Defiance for what it's worth. It is going to happen. Yep.
I think not.
one's gonna explode. That one will as well. You're about to die. Okay, we actually might have been able to get by without using that Death Defiance. Did not realize we were that close. So this is what I was referring to before. Like, is this an optional room with additional coins that doesn't really progress us any further, but gives us more time to gain resources, whereas this is actually advancing further? We do kind of like loading up on the coins, if I'm being honest. Especially given how large of a bonus we're getting for Zeus statues. Let's do it.
And down we go.
Like, those guys aren't too bad. But these guys, a room full of them. I don't know how I feel about that, though. Nope, they are basically the alternate version of us. Okay, I don't like them. Confirmed. I don't like them. Sam, I am. Please don't do that. Please stop doing that. I really thought that was going to end earlier. There's more. No. No more, please. I don't like them. Okay, at least we got rid of one of them. We might have taken damage in that exchange, though. Those go far as well. There's even more. Okay, confirmed this room was not worth going into. Okay. This seems like it was way harder than all the other rooms we've been in, or at least had way more waves of enemies. What?
Well met.
Who are you? But thank you? It's not Heracles, is it? It doesn't look the same as Heracles, unless he's armored up. Oh. Wait. That shield.
The noble princess of the dead at last.
It's Athena!
I am your cousin Athena, and proud to welcome you to Olympus. Yet I could be prouder, as this wasn't always such a miserable place.
So, Athena was a goddess who gave you boons in Hades 1. However, I don't believe that has been the case yet in Hades 2, which there's maybe one other god I can think of, a couple other gods at least I can think of, who also fall under that category. So it'll be interesting to see if they make a reappearance of some variety, perhaps in a different type of role, as may be the case here with Athena.
Hail, Lady Athena, and well met. Please call me Melinoi. Now where can I direct my wrath, that we may liberate your mountain stronghold and see its glory all restored?
Well met indeed, Melinoi. The wretched Titan's armies have infiltrated our most sacred grounds. On them your wrath may be well spent, especially as you rise toward the summit, where most of our family now takes refuge.
I mean, we have gone through many rooms in Olympus, perhaps many of which were, optional, voluntarily increasing the amount of stuff we needed to clear. But either way, it's quite a bit.
Palace of Zeus. And what of you? Why aren't the others out here fighting by your side?
Which is to say, we might be getting close to the end now.
Because that is precisely what our strategy requires, for they aided your arrival, did they not? Now, let us go our separate ways, and may my blessing aid in your ascent.
That was an extremely underwhelming response. She just did not answer that question at all. Okay, now overall, Hades 1, Hades 2, incredibly well written. Every game that Supergiant have made, amazing through and through, and the writing has been incredible. This might be the single worst piece of dialogue I've seen them write. That is precisely what our strategy requires, for they aided your arrival, did they not? Yes, they did aid our arrival, however, you did not address why those are not mutually exclusive. Why does that prevent them from participating in the fight right here? So you didn't answer the question, and now you just, for some unexplained reason, need to split up with us. That feels like a slap in the face.
What shall it be?
Okay, she does give us boons, though. She does give us boons. So, in Hades 1, she did give boons, and they were typically much more defensive. They involved, in some cases, deflecting things back at the enemies, so I'm curious to see if that is still the case here, because I do see the word deflect. Your specials also launch a projectile ahead that can deflect, rearming after 2 seconds. I mean, obviously we're building so much around our special, having another way to do that, especially if it deflects, could be nice. Oh, except we've used all of our Death Defiances. Wait, gain 1 Death Defiance that replenishes in each location, but you prime an absolutely absurd amount of magic. How much magic do we have? We'd have the tiniest bit left over. So if we hadn't blown through all of our Death Defiances, then this would have been the best one. But we might find ourselves in a case where we need to... Oh, this was, her, by most accounts, her best boon in Hades 1, though. Because being able to deflect, which, yes, does quite literally mean sending foes' strikes and projectiles back at them. That is really good on a dash, because you're usually dashing to avoid taking damage, and this just makes it that much easier to avoid getting hit by projectiles in particular. So that's really good as well, but I'm just not sure we can afford to take anything other than this, even if it uses basically all of our magic.
The might and fury of
Can we get all the above, please?
back into the fray.
Okay. So at least we got a boon out of that. And we'll get this as well. Oh, no, we will not get this. At least not yet. I would have preferred the health. And nab this, just in case. And maybe that's the key against those guys is, ow. Ow. Well, that isn't. But basically find some cover when they're doing that attack. The eagle again. I still don't understand how this works. So the eagle will attack us. Might also attack enemies. Don't know. It might have dealt damage to one of the enemies there. Uh-oh. Here, hide behind this, basically. Trying to take you out from behind that cover. If possible. Like that. He does potentially have an AoE move that can still hit us. That's very convenient. Just wish that more of our projectiles would hit you. Okay, not too bad. Also, who's this statue of? Hestia? Okay, let's see what we can get here. Hex power. Oh, we haven't even used it. Oh! Yeah, so remember when we primed basically all of our magic? So that basically means we aren't going to be able to do any hexing. So what we want here are passive bonuses. Maybe? That's the only way we could use a hex. Okay, we'll take that. And then from here, I think we pretty much have to do this as well.
Illumination.
On to the next phase.
But if given the choice, probably would not have gone that route. Oh, that's what all the base colors are like. For a second, I thought that was a special one. Okay. I take this to mean optional magic or shop. And again, after having primed basically all of our magic, yeah, it would be nice to have this. On the other hand, we have basically no health, which is more important. And so, assuming this is the penultimate room, I think we go for it. I think we pretty much have to do it.
Quiet here, at least.
Oh, and I heard some stuff. And a little more
Some adamant.
of these adamants. Okay. Yeah, we've gotten a fair bit of resources, which I hope will pay off. There is no Charon, that's correct.
The majestic summit of Mount Olympus would be very much in sight from here, were it not for the very dark and ominous storm wall that now envelops it.
So, I'm still not super clear on... Yes, we established... Okay. Kronos has something to do with the attack on Olympus. It's his army, but is it Kronos himself who we're going to see here? In which case, is it very similar to the encounter in the underworld? Or is this going to be someone entirely different?
A storm is brewing.
who is just siding with Kronos, but is someone else. Okay, this is not really a super shop. Not the likes of which we saw in the underworld. So then we don't have that much we can buy. Then there's the whole question of, is it worth spending money at the cost of losing, we spend 100, we lose 3%. If we buy everything, then we lose 6% damage. The palm slice, I think, is a little questionable. The healing we could certainly use. If we take the healing, then I think we might be buying everything. That's why we took the extra coins from those rooms, right? Oh, that is a lot of healing. Guess we'll take this. Divine Vengeance, that was what we got from Athena, was it not? Oh, no, that's the Zeus reflection one. Okay. So, yeah, we take this, we lose 3% damage. I think it's worth it.
In the name of Hades.
It could be better than 3%.
To a rarer boon.
Let's see, so we could upgrade the rarity. We really just haven't been using the cast at all. After you dash, occasionally create a blast that deals damage. We do not have any dash ability at all right now, right? So, I mean, it's 100 damage we didn't have before. That's probably worth more than the 3% damage we had on our attack and special. And then this would basically just be 15 armor for one room and one room only, and we would prime all of our magic. So I think we go with the dash. I think that makes sense. It's a fake Garon.
A note says, "Hey, take what you need for gold. Honor system."
What? Oh, okay. For a second I thought that was supposed to mean like, oh, you can have this stuff for free. Don't worry about it, but no. As in, he's not here, but please actually pay gold. I'm trusting you with the honor system. Okay, now that does make sense, and we did pay. Okay, so this appears to be the final boss on Olympus. I don't know who it's gonna be, or what it's gonna be like, but here goes nothing.
Stop right there.
Oh, it's the Eagle Dude.
Here comes the unexpected wrinkle in my master's plan. I know who you are, lost daughter of Hades, and I know that you know who I am. I had a premonition of this very moment.
Oh, hold on a second.
Lord Prometheus, I presume. You must
Okay.
have premonitions all the time. I'd not heard you were liberated, or that Kronos is the master you serve. Solidarity between titans, then?
Wait. Oh, No, I don't know anything about Prometheus. Nothing at all.
Call it a change of heart.
Titan of Foresight.
And a fool, you see, to have sided once with gods against my kind, but no more. This is my attempt at atonement.
What, by leading this reckless assault? I never took you for a coward, but you remain a fool.
Perhaps you're right, but I shall be a victorious fool at least. For I have seen you stand no chance at all.
Oh. Okay. I think we found the final boss. And that music. Oh, that music. This is also an explanation as to why that eagle was attacking us. Previously, I thought it looked like Icarus, as I said, and I thought it had something to do with him, but no, that is very much not the case. Alright, here goes nothing. I have no idea what Prometheus's thing is. We have dealt a non-zero amount of damage to him, and that is a success in my eyes. I'll be honest, I just did that as soon as I saw that it was up. Oh, those heat seek. Okay. Yeah, but I know nothing about Prometheus. He's a Titan? I didn't even know that. Okay, maybe we do this when he's charging that up. Or not. Or not. Oh, okay. It's kind of hard to go anywhere at the moment. He kind of blocked off a humongous chunk of the arena. Oh, we cannot outrun those. I actually don't know how we dodged them that. Also, would really help if I hit that. That doesn't look good. So he just has a bunch of arena effects. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was gonna happen. Sooner or later. What?
Get back here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. What?
There was no dignity in this at all.
I thought I was not supposed to. Did I? Huh. I mean, you saw the red lines.
You saw right through me.
Saw the red lines where I assumed it was going to be like his eagle was going to attack there. And so whenever I saw that, I ran away from that area. But I didn't see, like, the eagle. I expected the eagle to then fly across soon thereafter and do that attack. And then the next red line would appear, and that was where you were supposed to dodge. But maybe it's not that. It's actually, as in, that's not the timing of it. It might actually be more of a memory thing where you don't immediately dodge. Instead, you have to remember the order in which those areas appear, and that's once you see, so you dodge, you are in position to dodge the first eagle strike. Once you see the first eagle strike, that is when you move to the spot for the second eagle strike, so on and so forth. But you have to wait until it starts, because by attempting to dodge the third one, I got hit by the first one. At least that's what I think might have happened there.
Hey.
But obviously having very little health at that stage made it a little hard to know exactly how that was going to work.
Don't you have friends among the other shades, Dora? You could join them for some activity out there. It's picked up a lot of late.
Foolish witch.
Haunting this tent is a full-time obsession. We lesser shades can be a little single-minded. I guess kind of like mortals.
Oh, ouch.
Not just mortals.
Okay, so, oh boy, did we experience a whole lot of new stuff there, including some things that we just hadn't seen before because we haven't spent a ton of time on the surface, but we saw a bunch of stuff that just got added with this new update as well.
Ready for more?
And I imagine
Princess,
Morris will have something to say about that.
Condone your actions. Your visits to the surface violate the terms the fates set for your father's lineage, and you invite whichever consequences they see fit.
Yes, but unofficially, Lord Moros? If you'll permit yourself to speak of it this once. Or are we limited to candid conversations only when I'm on the verge of death?
Our conversations are most definitely more secure that way, but unofficially, I am amazed by your accomplishment. Perhaps living so close to the surface predisposed you, but still, I was uncertain it was possible.
And we didn't just get to the surface, we got up to the very top of Olympus.
May the fates forgive my transgressions.
Likewise.
Okay,
The
but
fated list.
nothing here to immediately cash in. Oh, what is that type of thing? Some new types of resources, which I suppose makes sense.
Good
Oh,
evening.
Arachne's here. Okay, lots of stuff for us to check out. We'll start here. Ooh,
Meaning to try this?
apparently we have. Sandy Lifespring. Reveal a hidden isle in the Rift of Thessaly, where you may... Oh, some healing on the ship, on the boat. That could be really helpful, because we do not yet have that. And it requires wood. We've more or less just enough, and iron. Let's just see. Are we in need of spending that elsewhere? Doesn't seem like it. So, okay. Or at least not right here in the incantation area. So, sure. Let's go for it.
Oskion Katoski. So mote it be.
In sync. Okay, so might not be a dramatic difference maker, but it could certainly still be helpful for us. And then this, I think, is the really big one that we saw but could not yet afford. Reveal aspects from the silver pool that further empower each main weapon. This is a really big deal.
As bearer of the fated arms of night, I seek their aspects, hidden from my sight.
See that, sisters?
Alright, we will check that out in just a few minutes. But let's see what else. There's a couple of new things here that are probably added from the expansion, cause locations on the surface to sometimes contain a Shrine of Hermes. What are those? Surface monuments where you can special order useful items using coins. Is that like a mini shop? I honestly don't even remember if we have seen the mini shops yet in Hades 2, because they existed in Hades 1, and it's been long enough since we played Hades 2 that maybe I just kind of blurred them both together and assumed that they existed in Hades 2 already, but if not, then that would be a nice addition. But they definitely do exist already. We just wonder how these are different then. Okay. Trove in, wait, cause locations upon the surface. Okay, all areas of the surface to sometimes contain an infernal trove. Okay, that does require iron and mandrake, which we currently do not have any of. I might have walked over some of them without having collected them. I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure we had the pickaxe last time, although we had seen in the past that despite wielding the pickaxe, we sometimes were still able to harvest some of the seeds. Restore the Crossroads Fishing Pier. Requires wood and cattails. Okay, we did use some of our wood, so we no longer have enough of that in the cattails. We might be able to plant some of those soon. Ooh, I do like this, though. Being able to get more soil plots, I think it's almost always a good thing to prioritize quickly, but we do need garlic. Then we could afford this. Oh, but the Z-Sand that's big, because that's from defeating Kronos, isn't it? Persuade the learned sage to appear, with whom you may review the outcomes of your every night. I don't know if that's worth it, because I feel like there are more meaningful ways for us to use that Z-Sand right now. I think there's at least one or two other big upgrades that require it. I am curious to see what Hecate has to say about that previous run, though. She might have a little bit of catch-up work to do, because not only did we get to the surface, which we haven't done much of, we made it to Olympus, which we did for the first time. We encountered several new people for the first time, and we made it to the very top of Olympus for the first time, so she might talk to us about any one of those things.
You flushed Prometheus out from his hiding spot. Slipped from his chains somehow. Whether he is a pure idealist or merely in it for rebellion's sake, I've yet to ascertain.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. So he was locked up in some way? Well, so he was a Titan, and we know that the gods fought the Titans way back when, and Kronos was the leader of the Titans, and they defeated Kronos by chopping him up, and then putting the pieces of his body spread out across Tartarus in the deepest depths of the underworld. But I don't really know what became of the other Titan. I mean, Hecate technically is a Titan as well, I'm pretty sure. But Prometheus, I don't know what that meant for him or other Titans. Did they just all suddenly say, oh, okay, Kronos is done for, I guess so, we'll give up on this whole fight thing because our leader is gone? Or did they have other creative ways of dealing with the Titans, the other Titans? Well, Atlas. I know about Atlas. And they did have a creative way of dealing with him, I suppose. But Prometheus, yeah, it's new to me.
His reasons for siding with Kronos seem plain enough. For one, he wants his vengeance on Lord Uncle Zeus and the rest. And for another, he's a Titan himself.
Okay, I mean the Titan angle makes sense. As for what specific reason he has to get vengeance on Zeus, that I am not as familiar with.
I am a Titaness as well.
Right.
As his sister Selene, lest you forget. Our lineage need not dictate our loyalties or principles. Although perhaps Prometheus sees otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a couple of close friends who are Titans, so need to be a little bit careful jumping to conclusions for about that.
Is it true he can see all that is to come?
He's merely mad, perhaps. And in more ways than one.
He can see everything that is to come. Combine that with the ability to control time for Kronos, and that is a dangerous combination.
Lord Charon always delivers.
That he does. Don't even remember what that is. That seems like one of those resources that I did not recognize. It's moon dust. Okay, we don't have enough Charon cards to afford that again. We could get Fate Fabric. We're one Charon card away. Okay, maybe we just wait and get it again, because I assume this is going to be the hardest of all these things to acquire, and the most valuable for that reason. Let's see what the deal is with Arachne, though. This is our first time seeing her in town.
Oh, hello there, my friend. I
happened to see the boatman sculling down the Cocytus, presumably to you, for he had all sorts of supplies. He was generous enough to offer me passage, whether he knew it or not.
Oh, sneaky.
Great to see you here, and welcome, Arachne. I'm certain Charon doesn't mind such a courteous stowaway. Is there anything we can do to make your stay with us more comfortable?
Not the first stowaway we've seen in a Supergiant game, dating back to Pyre a couple games ago, but okay.
No, thank you. I don't intend to be here very long, especially since the boatman is my ticket home. I'll just make certain all my silk here is patched up and then be on my way. Be well, won't you?
Okay, interesting. I mean, there are certainly some NPCs, some friends in town who pop in and out. They aren't always here, so maybe Arachne will become one of those. It's not as if she will be a mainstay.
You too.
Take care out there.
Okay, and
I trade some of my findings for more bones.
I think we'll probably wait here before we start purchasing things. We could get more moon dust by spending bones if we wanted to, but don't know yet what our next big target item is going to be or what it will take to craft it.
Once there was an administrative chamber in the underworld, where shades kept careful track of each detail, a trade a few such souls has yet to pursue.
Surely such efforts were rewarded handsomely.
Okay. I assume the person who we were potentially going to unlock would also end up in there. Might have been a bit of a reference to them. Okay, I'm a little curious what Nemesis has to say about that run, although I'm sure she will find some way to knock us for it.
I always thought if I could just train harder than you, she'd reconsider and give the task to me. Worked my ass off. But it didn't matter.
Have we heard this before? This sounds very familiar.
I worked too. And Headmistress always made herself clear about our roles. You can't change your birthright, nor can I change mine.
It isn't fair.
Life isn't fair. I'm sorry, but sure I'm not the first person to tell you that, and I won't be the last. What is... This looks a little bit different. That is where Odysseus would usually be. Oh, and here are the cattails that we were saying we might want to plant. Well, we have already planted and now acquired them. As for what comes next... Wheat... Cattails, well, maybe we don't have as much of an immediate need for the cattails now, because that might have been just enough for the thing that we were eyeing before. I thought I saw some things that required some wheat. Maybe a little bit of that. And then, I mean, technically the poppy seeds are the rarest of the things we have here, so maybe throw one of those in. Anything from Hypnos, perhaps.
Not Hypnos. When I was in Tartarus, I found some seeds, which grew into poppies, like the ones that line your bedding there. What if I used them with... I just had an idea.
Oh!
I promise to be careful.
And the deepest slumber. Oh my goodness. Okay, perhaps it would have been better to get even more poppies in that case, but we might already have enough.
To wake Lord Hypnos, possibly.
Oh, we have plenty of the poppies. It's the mandrake that we need. That is on the surface. Okay, but that is intriguing, because it has been a long time that we've been waiting to wake up Hypnos. Most slumber ends quickly and naturally, but a rare variety requires special care. Dream vapors? Okay. Alright, so we're gonna keep our eye on that. And there's at least one really big thing here.
The Arcana.
And it is not the Arcana.
I understand.
Although... Oh, is there a new row of Arcana? I don't believe this existed before. Did this just get added? Or did we just never do these ones before? Use... wait, you have +2 of those. You have +1, change of fate. Alter booms and certain other choices. You have no death defiance effects. You take less damage and deal more damage. The reroll ones, those sound familiar, or at least there were ones already that did that type of thing. But this sounds I don't remember this. Sounds unfamiliar. Any boons you are offered have plus 10% chance to be epic. Okay. This we can afford, and I think we would very much like to get it. Is this what the golden apple, is that what we got from Eris? That would explain why we only have one of them. What is the awakening state? Activate all 5 cards in any other row or column. We're not quite there. But we might be able to make that happen if we added you. Or you. We can afford this from an Ash standpoint, but not from a Psyche grasp standpoint. So it would take a little bit of reworking, but I think it's worth it. And this one, the feather we saw, that's the reward for defeating Prometheus. You can activate 3 random inactive Arcana cards whenever you vanquish a Guardian. Wait, yeah, this sounds familiar. This definitely was a thing before, but it just, they reworked the cost of it? Because obviously feathers did not exist until this update. Okay. And then... oh, can we upgrade this further? I mean, I know we haven't even technically activated it yet, but I would love for that to be an even higher chance to give us epic rarity boons, because that is one thing from the previous run, is we had pretty poor luck when it came to the rarity. Outside of the duo boon obviously was great. That's very high rarity, but it seemed like almost everything else was just common. So, hold on.
I think I can raise my grasp.
Would like to... oh, can we? We did pick up a lot of... oh, just enough Psyche. Okay, let's do it. Now we've 2 to spare. Is that enough? Be helpful. We need all 5 in any other row or column. Either this or this. Don't we have one that makes it so we can't repeat a specific number? Or we can't have more than 2 of a specific number? Is it this? No more than 2 cards that cost the same amount of grasp. I think we only have a single 4. We're definitely not getting rid of this anytime soon. So... this doesn't break our other one.
Champions.
But we do need to manufacture enough grasp to make it possible. How do we do that? Oh, this was the thing that we passed up on several occasions and just never ended up using it. But you know what? On the previous run, at least. We do this. I think we found it can actually be pretty decent. What is the other 3, just out of curiosity? I do like that. Do like that. At least, it's a safety net, which, when we're still learning some new encounters, is probably a bit, it feels a bit necessary. But okay, so now we can alter boons a little bit, and we have this active. That's the main reason why we made that change, and that means we stand to benefit now from upgrading this, and I think that is worth doing, and we can do it several times over at that.
I understand.
20% chance, plus 20% chance to get epic rarity boons. I think that could make a pretty big difference. Potentially even other things that could be upgradable here. Like this, any boons you have... oh, we did have an increased chance for duo boons. Okay, so that... not that 6% was a huge number, but that might not have been a coincidence. So this would cost the last of our, what is that, magic dust? That might be worth doing. Oh, oops. Oh, I upgraded the wrong thing. I hope it didn't cost a valuable resource. I meant to upgrade... no! It cost 1 of the magic dust. Okay, well, you know what? We were talking about how we have quite a bit of the bones. Excuse me, Nemesis. And so perhaps we can cash out a bit of this stuff. And then we can go back to upgrading at least 1 of the boons, or rather Arcana cards that we'd like to upgrade. Namely... Yeah, because it switches back over to the top left corner once you switch to upgrade mode, which is why I accidentally clicked on that. And it's not even one that I'm a huge fan of, unfortunately, but at some point in time, I'm sure we'll do a whole bunch of upgrades.
Now.
Oh! Iris, I believe we got from Olympus, wasn't it? But may be worth doing. I mean, this is a very powerful Arcana card. Let's do it.
I see.
Let's do it. Okay. So that is, in theory, quite a bit stronger. And now there are a few notable things here.
Reacted to my spell.
Because we had an incantation that I think we are about to see the effects of now.
Nocturnal arms. Interesting. The last of the nocturnal arms.
We now have aspects, which basically means each of the weapons can have an alternate variety, an alternate little modifier of sorts that may make it, in some cases, quite significantly different. So in this case, which weapon is this? Oh, the black coat is it? Okay, well that's the new one that got added. Let's see here. Okay, this is what I was looking for. We'll get back to the black coat. This is the thing that we got from the incantation, which now makes it possible for us to upgrade / provide new bonuses of entirely different varieties to our weapons that you just get automatically. It doesn't require any boons. As soon as you start up, they're good to go. So, Aspect of Malinui, your on the staff, your channel, or when you channel your charge moves, you do that more quickly by 15%. That's one option. Then we have this option, Aspect of Circe. After you attack or special hit 12 times, gain Serenity with your next charge-up move. What is Serenity? Charge moves deal bonus damage, and you rapidly restore magic. Serenity Omega damage is higher, okay. Whenever you use charge moves, and now that Aspect of Momus, when you use charge moves, each fires in place up to 3 times until you use it again. Okay. Alright. Move on to the Sister Blades. Just getting a look at what all these are first, and then we can start to think about which ones, if any, we may want to upgrade. Your attacks and specials deal more damage by striking foes from behind. That is fitting for some daggers, some blades. Aspect of Artemis. While channeling your charge attack, you occasionally parry, then riposte right after. Parry prevents damage from most types of direct attacks. It can be repeated after 15 seconds. You're impervious when you riposte for 1 second. Your next 9 strikes have plus 50% critical chance. That sounds pretty sweet. Aspect of Pan. Your special seeks foes in your casts and fires more shots if you channel longer. Okay. So, as you can see, some of these things are relatively straightforward. Deal more damage when you strike foes from behind. Okay, sure. When you can, you try to sneak up behind or maybe dash behind the enemies and attack them. But yeah, there might be some ways in which that affects the way that you build a run, but otherwise is a relatively straightforward damage boost. Whereas in other cases, it might have more unusual types of effects that play out in ways that require or would benefit more from specific types of boons to complement them. And on the torches, for the Aspect of Malinui, flames from your charge special can burn longer before expiring. I do like that. I do like the special in general. Your attacks linger for 6 seconds, then explode in a blast if struck by your specials. Whoa! So a combination of attack and special there. An Aspect of Moros, okay. Aspect of Eos, your charge attack fires a Daybreaker that deals damage in an area around it every 2 seconds. Daybreaker blast damage is 100. Daybreaker is a slow-seeking shot that blasts nearby foes and copies your specials. Limit 1 at a time. Okay, it's hard to get a good sense for what that will actually be like, but that seems like that could be quite powerful. And the charge attack, as we were saying before, if you can charge for a long time on the torches, does get insane how high the damage goes with that. Then for the axe, aspect of Malinui, gain bonus attack power and max life. Okay, so that's a great example of just super straightforward, nothing particularly special about it, it just increases your stats. Doesn't really change your playstyle though. Your cast lasts for +3 seconds and erupts like your charge cast if struck by your special. Seeing more of these things that interact with different types of skills together, combos of sorts. Is that a Charon card that costs? Oh, because it's the aspect of Charon. Okay, that's clever. That's fitting. I was going to say, that seemed weird that was going to be something you would spend in an entirely different way. Because it already had a very specific use case, but for the aspect of Charon, I think you can certainly make an exception. Aspect of Thanatos. Oh! Have we seen Thanatos in Hades 2? We certainly saw him a lot in Hades 1. And he had a very distinctive weapon. And this perhaps allows us to use it. Your attack is faster, and each strike grants mortality until you take damage. Attack speed plus 10%. Mortality is a fleeting bonus of plus 1% crit chance for your charge moves, up to a maximum of plus 13%. Okay. And then... oh. We have the Argent Skull, which we haven't used that much, but was kind of a fun weapon. So aspect of Malinui, your attacks have more power for each skull fired and not yet retrieved. That's kind of intriguing. Okay. Aspect of Medea, your attack stays within reach and explodes after landing your specials or after 3 seconds. Okay, so again, a bit of a combination with the specials, attacks and specials. Charge special is enhanced, and damage from your cast can extend it by up to plus 2 seconds. Okay. Oh, and then we're just on to the other farming, like resource-based stuffs. But the Black Coat is an entirely new weapon. So this is the stuff we were just looking at before, those aspects, that was from the incantation that we did. This new weapon, the Black Coat, is from this expansion. So guard and retaliate with mighty attacks, ensuring none escape with seeking specials. Okay, so I think we'll definitely want to unlock this here. Oh, and Adamant. Did we only get that from Olympus? It was from the surface. I know we got it in the previous run. I thought it was fairly far along, so we might have only just gotten the stuff we needed to craft this. But I think this will very likely be the thing we look to use next time.
The Black Coat. Envelop me in darkness that our foes cannot escape.
Oh.
I like the sound of that. You bear my trusty tooth.
Huh. This looks... Whoa, what the heck? What? I was gonna say this looks kind of familiar, but I don't know what from. Just the stance that Malinui is in. It's kind of like the fists from Hades 1, but I feel like that's not what I'm thinking. Maybe it's a specific aspect on the fists in Hades 1? I don't know. Okay, that's pretty normal. That's very interesting. What about charging this up? Oh. Okay. Charged attack? Okay, it seems pretty cool. Very unique.
Something transpired with the silver puddle back there, I could tell, young one. You're doing, perchance, that of the fates themselves.
I've revealed in the pool the aspects of the nocturnal arms. Not their true forms exactly, but different ones, with their own great power.
Ah, the nocturnal arms. Your brother, he once used their counterparts, and those ones too turned into other stuff. Well, if you need to test your newfound strength, I'm here.
I know it, Commander.
Alright, well, certainly plenty of new things for us to try between this new weapon and the new aspects to the weapons that we had previously. And no shortage of new places to go. Whoa. That's a little different. We are basically... we're like a... what is it? Like a droid? Or like a Gundam or something like that? I don't know. It feels very sci-fi like. This especially, where we basically fire heat-seeking rockets at our enemies. So I am certainly intrigued by this, and many of the other things that we are only just starting to dip our toe into. So lots of new stuff for us to check out, but I think this is a good place for us to wrap up here. So thank you all for watching. This was the new expansion / update for Hades 2. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.